So this is part of that PR campaign to make sure that nobody else tries this and just runs my name through the mud. I spent 30 years building up a reputation of being an outstanding businessman, have a family, and then you come and do this? Nah, we're going to rectify that. We're going to set the record straight.
You can't say that.
Is he allowed to say
I'll
that?
say it louder.
I think we all remember when that lawsuit came out about Jay-Z and Diddy. It was some lady, she said in the early 2000s, something happened with Jay-Z and Diddy after the Grammys or the VMAs, one of these award shows. She said she was about 13, 14, 15, however old she was. She was definitely underage. At least that's what was alleged. She said that she was invited to a party, or she got to a party with Diddy and Jay-Z, and she was taken advantage of. That was the claim. Of course, people were coming out saying, yeah, I think Jay-Z did that. They got all this stuff going on with Diddy. So, of course, they just tied it in, said, that seems like the pattern of stuff that Diddy is doing. So, believe all women. Jay-Z came out. He was like, yo, I don't know why you're trying to associate me with all of this Diddy stuff, but I will get retribution for you trying to tie my name to some false allegations. Eventually, the case got dropped. That happened around mid-February 2025, right? So about 2-3 weeks ago. And now Jay-Z is filing his own lawsuit. Jay-Z did say right in the beginning, you're going to pay for falsely accusing me of doing something that I didn't do. And now this lady is absolutely about to reap what she sows. So we've got this article over on Billboard. It says, Jay-Z is filing a lawsuit against the unnamed woman who accused him of assault last year, claiming she has now directly admitted that she fabricated those explosive allegations. So we know there was the lawyer Tony Buzbee, and they're saying it was a conspiracy against Tony Buzbee to try to make some controversy, try to get his name out there, and try to get some money. That Tony Buzbee kind of fabricated this thing, like they said, extort a settlement from the superstar by making false and malicious allegations against him. In a statement to Billboard, Buzbee sharply denied the allegations. He said this case is baloney and has low legal merit. That's funny. That's hilarious because at the time when they made the allegations against Jay-Z and Diddy, that is the exact same thing that Jay-Z said. He said it's defamatory, it has no merit. There's no way that his name is tied to any of the things that they were being accused of, and there's no way that he had any involvement in anything that Diddy was doing, right? Now, the lady, she did drop the case without prejudice, so it's not going to be tried again. There's no opportunity for her to come back and be like, well, I didn't really want to put my name out there. I didn't want to go through the legal case, but now I'm ready. Nope. She dropped it without prejudice. It's done. Jay-Z's investigators have repeatedly harassed, threatened, and harangued this poor woman for weeks, trying to intimidate her and make her recant her story. She won't. Instead, she stated repeatedly she stands by her claims. This small group of investigators have been caught on tape offering to pay people to sue me and my firm. This is just another attempt to intimidate and bully this poor woman that we will deal with in due course. Well, she dropped the case, so I don't know how they're going to deal with it. Jay-Z is countersuing, so are you going to try to countersue him for countersuing? Are we just going to keep going back and forth? Continuing down with the article, it says, Doe has now voluntarily admitted directly to representatives of Mr. Carter that the story brought before the world in court and on global television was just that, a false, malicious story. She admitted that Mr. Carter did not assault her and that, indeed, it was Buzbee himself who pushed her to go forward with a false narrative of assault by Mr. Carter in order to leverage a maximum payday. Unfortunately, because we live in a litigious society, when somebody makes a claim like that, more often than not, you're going to have to get into court. You're going to have to fight it. And if you're a rich person, your name is kind of tied to that forever. There are going to be people that initially saw the Jay-Z accusation, saw the story, saw this lady accuse him of doing whatever she initially accused him of doing, and they're never going to see the follow-up. They're never going to see that she said that this thing didn't happen, that Jay-Z is countersuing for defamation or whatever he's countersuing for, right? For libel, whatever his actual legal case is, they're never going to see that. They're just going to see the initial Jay-Z headline, right? Because that's what's going to make the most controversy. That's what everybody's going to report on. And they're not going to know that she dropped this without prejudice. As much as people want to be famous, they want to be rich, they want to have a lot of attention on them, that's the downside to this. People are going to come after your money, make frivolous claims, file frivolous lawsuits, and you have to waste your time, money, and energy fighting this, all by having your name like drugged through the mud. Is there some things that Jay-Z could be tied to? They haven't been proven in court, right? We can say whatever we want. Oh, he dated Beyonce when she was young. this thing with Foxy Brown, him dating her when she was young. These things are not proven in court. They're hearsay. They haven't been proven in court. And when somebody comes out and ties your reputation to that, there are going to be people that don't do a follow-up. So they just look at you as a monster. They look at you like you're accused of doing the thing that Diddy is accused of, right? Diddy's going to court. All the details of what he's done and what he's been accused of, those things are going to come out. But with Jay-Z, the lawsuit is dropped. Nobody else has a pending lawsuit against him for these allegations. But that doesn't mean that there are not going to be people that look at this and he has a stain on his name and a stain on his reputation because this lady came out and said that he did something and then turns around and says, well, he didn't really do it. This lawyer just pushed me to try to get a payday. She didn't have to release her name. Her name was sealed, right? So there's going to be no backlash against her. She's just Jane Doe. She's gone in a win. And we do know this, like, this story is not about Diddy directly, but this lady, she did file the suit initially against Jay-Z and Diddy. She dropped the lawsuit, and then immediately after that, Diddy's lawyer stepped away. One of Diddy's lawyers stepped away, and I do have a video on that, and I'll link it for anybody that wants to check that out. But I don't know if it's tied, right? It's definitely not tied to Jay-Z because she dropped the case against him. But is this possibly tied to the reason that Diddy's lawyer wanted to drop out? Is there other allegations that have gone on of misconduct that are tied to Jay-Z's friend? Let's go back into the article. Let's see if there's anything else that we can gather. Jay-Z's lawyer also says the star is now facing extortion threats from Buzbee. They claim Doe's attorney warned them last week that if they review or reveal Doe's statements admitting her story was false, they'll issue a press release claiming she's been harassed by Jay-Z's team and that she dropped the lawsuit only because she was afraid for her life. I do want to talk about this. When the initial claim happened, the first thing I thought is she doesn't want to release her name because Jay-Z, he has all this notoriety. He has all these fans. He has all this money, all of this leverage and influence. Of course, she doesn't want to release her name and be harassed. There was part of that I understood, right? But then the other part is you have the right to face your accuser. I don't know that her name was released even to Jay-Z. Because if it was, he probably would have put it out. They probably would have made a direct statement saying, hey, I do know this lady or I don't know this lady, and this is my connection to her. So I understand a piece of why she wouldn't want to release her name and she wanted to be filed under a Jane Doe. You can't say that you dropped the lawsuit, the claims are unfounded, and then you expect Jay-Z to be quiet and never address the situation. You're running my name through the mud. This is my reputation. Not only do I have business that stands on the reputation of me being an upstanding person, I have family that may or may not believe the things that you're alleging against me. You expect me to wear that scarlet letter as a sexual assaulter? Jay-Z got kids. He has a daughter that's old enough to understand what's going on, Blue Ivy. I think how old is she? Probably about 12, 13, 14 by now. You expect him to go out in the public, never address the situation again, and never countersue? No, we're going to rectify this. We're going to get our get back so that this doesn't happen again. We're going to spank this person in court to make sure nobody else tries no bullshit like this. That's my opinion. For Jay-Z, this is not about money, right? This lady probably doesn't have any money, which is why she was trying to sue him. But this is about setting the record straight. This is about letting my family know, my friends know, my business partners know. Not only did I not do this thing that you're alleging me of and wiping the slate clean, wiping my name, clearing my name, I'm also not tied to any of this stuff that people are alleging Diddy of, because we know that it seems like Jay-Z and Diddy have had a friendship and Diddy was in this lawsuit. Diddy is being accused of all of this stuff. It's only natural that people would try to associate them. So this is part of that PR campaign to make sure that nobody else tries this and just runs my name through the mud. I spent 30 years building up a reputation of being an upstanding businessman, have a family. I'm not out here doing a bunch of stuff in the public that runs my family's name through the mud. And then you come and do this? Nah, we're going to rectify that. We're going to set the record straight. The only thing that Jay-Z has done is stab back in the 2000s and cheat on his wife. That's where we're going to end it. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. And if you have thoughts on this lawsuit with Jay-Z, this Jane Doe, or you think that he shouldn't countersue, just let it go. Let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Till next time. Peace.